Hey, puppy. Where are we going, little one? We're gonna go find a mushroom. We're gonna go find a mushroom. Hey, puppy. Oh, yeah, let's go find a mushroom. Oh, yeah. Well, it's the morning, so she's a bit sleepy still. It's very early. But before I start work today, we're gonna go find a mushroom. We're gonna find Dryad saddle, aren't we, Brie? Yeah. Anyway. This way. Come on in. Come on, baby. Good morning. Puffy-eyed, didn't sleep too well last night. It's quite early this morning. Before I start work, I decided I would come to the woods that I have access to. I've only been a few times since I got access, but we came last night, me and the dog, and I found a huge cluster of Dryad saddle, an edible mushroom, and one that I've not eaten before. I know what it is, I've seen it a fair bit, but I spent a lot of time learning about mushrooms before I started eating them. So this is my first time eating it, which is quite exciting. Like every time I've found them in the past, they've always gone over a little bit, a bit curled up. And now I was supposed to bring a nice bread roll, have an egg, harvest some mushroom, cook it up, and sit in the environment where it grows and eat it. That's the way to enjoy mushrooms, if you know what you're eating. Is pick them, clean them, eat them in the woods. Perfect. But I forgot my bread roll. But I've got a couple of eggs, I've got a frying pan, and I'm gonna have a mushroom. So I'm just gonna have egg and mushrooms. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I just would have liked to have put it in a bun, that's all. But I always forget something. So yeah, let's go find it. I'm gonna show you a bit of Dryad saddle. Come on in. There's actually horses. I don't know if you can hear them, but there's horses in the woods down there. They've got in from the field. But this is what I saw. The first bunch. Oh, let's see if I can just zoom in a little bit. See it right there? Look at that. See that? But that's not the bit we're going to. That's the first bit I saw. Let's head on down. So, there we go. So I stood here and I was like, nice, check it out, Dryad saddle. Although I'm not sure what this is on top. So I probably wouldn't have eaten it. We've got the gnats, look, fungus gnats. So this guy's already been attacked. But when I looked up here, just around the corner, breezy one. So we're on a bit of a slope here. Whoa, well, there she is. I'm gonna buy a fox den or something there, but the thing is, Dryad saddle usually grows really high up. So to get it at this height is fantastic. And look at these. I think the fungus gnats have already got in there. You see them buzzing around, but these are in fantastic condition. Look at this one. This is perfect. This is how you want to find them. There's a gnat. They're here already, but I'm here too. Now this is a bracket fungus, as you can see. You can see why. It sticks out like a bracket. It's also a polypore. So it doesn't have gills or anything else. It's got pores. Poly meaning many. Many pores. Beautiful mushroom. So as you can see, these guys are massive. So big and so heavy, sometimes they can't take their own weight and they just fall down off trees. Or you see them just hanging like this. Look at these. Woo! What a beauty. Also known as pheasant back, and you can see why. Look at the pattern here. Polyporus squamosus, I think it's called. I think it's changed now. They're always changing mushrooms names. I'm not too hot on the old scientific names, but that's what it was called when I last looked. We've got cobwebs and things here. So this one's about to get eaten, so I'm here just in time. Actually smell quite delicious. Now these guys will feed on dead matter, saprotrophic they call that. Sapro meaning matter, decaying, and trophic meaning nourish. I think is Greek. It used to be saprophytic, but phyte meaning plant, P-H-Y-T-E. Mushrooms aren't plants, so they've stopped saying that. But this guy is a saprotroph. They will also attack living trees too. Here, this guy's not living, so it's eating the decaying flesh of this old beech. But they will also attack and live on living trees. If a living tree is unhealthy, if a living tree is unhealthy, it's not too well, it's old, a fungus can get in if it's wounded or something, and it can find its way into that tree, into the center, and start feeding. But if a tree is healthy and strong, it can fight off a fungus. So usually when you find a fungus, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's nature doing its thing. It's recycling. Not always, but in this case, you can see what it's doing. Look at this. It's doing its job. Oh my, I've just seen something really minging. Right, trigger warning or whatever they say. I'm going to show you something now. So if you're squeamish, don't look at this. So I'm here looking at my fungus. And then look. That's an upside down dead squirrel. What the hell? Oh, dude. That's a squirrel hanging out of his hole, dead. Almost mummified. Yeah, sorry about that. I always see really weird things, and you know, you're sitting there looking at a mushroom, I'm thinking, oh, this looks tasty. I look up and there's like a mummified squirrel head just hanging upside down, dangling, staring at me with its teeth, its mouth open. Anyway, back to the mushroom. I think I told you it lives on living and dead trees, usually deciduous trees, like beech and things like that. It's massive. It's one of the biggest mushrooms you can find in the UK, hanging out of a tree like this. It hasn't got many lookalikes. Some people might say the birch polypore. There are similar looking mushrooms with this kind of pattern. What is it? Sarcodon imbricatus, or the scaly hedgehog. But that grows out the ground, and it's got little spikes under, little spines like hedgehogs. It hasn't got paws. And then you've got the dappling as well, which again grows out the ground, a lot smaller, very poisonous. And that's got gills, you know. So if it's sticking out of a tree and it's massive and it looks like this, and apparently it smells, I think I have to cut it, but it should smell a lot like watermelon. Yeah, smells like watermelon. Then you've got yourself a Dryad saddle. Massive, really big, looks like this, usually very high up, sticks out of a tree, usually quite black at the base as well. That's another giveaway with Dryad saddle. And it's got paws, not gills, not spikes. I keep looking at the picture. I've got to look into this thing. I'm using my phone. I've got to remember to look into the, apologies for that. So you're looking for the paws, you're looking for the size, the sheer scale, you're looking for deciduous trees like beech, elm, even willow, I think sycamore. Not much. I don't think much grows around sycamore, so that's quite interesting, as far as I'm aware. And smells like watermelon. Then I think you've got yourself a Dryad saddle. Woo! So we're gonna take some of this. I'm gonna go sit down and eat some. So. Got my little superheroes bag that I chuck mushrooms in, just because it breathes, it's light, it's easy. I'm gonna cut into this youngster. It should fall down to the one below. I twist it out. Whoa. To be fair, that's massive. Just that one And look how much is left. I'm going to leave all this. Look at this. All the pores. It's like honeycomb. Interestingly enough, at the base of this beech, you've got a very knobbly looking, but it could be a southern fungus or an artist bracket. It's very hard to tell the difference between the two. You have to cut them open and look at the layers, or you look under a microscope if you don't cut them open. Both are really similar, but these are great for tinder. You can harvest it from the inside. I'll go into that on another video, but it just goes to show that this is a nice host for all these things. Even a dead squirrel. Sorry, dude. Ah, and woodpeckers. We've got woodpecker holes as well. It's all happening on this stump. Come on in, up the hill. There you go, you can have a bit of tuna. All good. Keep you happy for a little bit. So the maggots have managed to find their way in. They always do, but you can eat a few maggots. I remember when I first started eating mushrooms, I think the trooping funnel was one of the first ones I had, and it was riddled with maggots. I didn't really know at the time or care too much, and I ate so many maggots without realising it. Now it's quite obvious to me. You've got these little translucent bits inside as well. Some people notice that, but you can smell the watermelon. It's not overly powerful, but it's there. So we'll roll with that. So this is a little piece of amadou. I showed you that mushroom earlier, and I harvested amadou from that using one of the layers inside the mushroom. You pull it out, boil it for like 10-20 hours, as long as you can. There's lots of different methods to create amadou, and then it's been hammered down. And all I'm going to do is ruffle it up with the opinel, and then we can hit a spark. That's the plan. So here's our amadou, which I've scraped off with a knife, so it's nice and fluffy now, so that'll take a spark. Now this bird's nest probably isn't very dry. We're going to give it a roll. We're going to give it a go, see what happens. I reckon I can still get it going. By the way, it's not an actual bird's nest. It's just basically tinder. We call it a bird's nest. That's what people say. Right, so I've placed the amadou on top of this dry grass. Wish it was a little drier, to be honest, but there you go. And there we go. And now it's covered in tiny little embers. We close it up. There we go. So there we go. Got the little bush box going. I tell you what, it's a nice feeling knowing that I'm allowed to be in this woods. I'm allowed to have a little fire. I'd love my own woodland, and one day I will have one. But for now, I've got this access. You're not allowed fires in woodlands. You're not allowed to camp in woodlands. They're all privately owned. So it's a real treat to be able to have that access and cook a bit of food, find some food in this woodland as well. And no one's around, so because it's private, I've got it to myself, just me and the dog. So yeah, it's a nice feeling. Looking forward to this mushroom. Just got one of these things, they're brilliant. Store your eggs, look. These are my neighbour's eggs. Brian drops them off, got his own chickens. So they're good. I always appreciate things like that. Mushrooms are ready. Fire's getting nice and hot. And roll with some butter as well. Come on this way. Yeah. There they go. Browning off just nicely. Right. Garlic salt. Lovely. Look at that, there we go, Dryad saddle and a fried egg. I wish I'd bought my bat, but a big fluffy oven bottom bat would have been delicious. But this will still be nice, and look where we are, eh? Brilliant. There we go. Again, I missed the bread on this one, but I think it's still going to be quite delicious. Still a nice little brekkie in the woods, and we've got a coffee afterwards as well. Nice. So let's try a little bit of Dryad saddle, dunked in egg yolk. Ooh. I really quite like the flavour. Lots of garlic salt, nicely fried and crisp. They're a little bit chewy, but that's it, they're lovely. It'd be nice as a stock. A lot of people do dry it out and powder it and use it as a stock for soups and things like that. Smoothies, whatever, I don't know, stews. I don't tend to do stuff like that. I just like to eat them as they are, but The whole watermelon thing's long gone. It's just very mushroomy now. There's a bunch of cows along the top here just staring over the fence. Freaking my dog out a bit. This is really tasty. They're very mushroomy. The whole watermelon thing's gone. They're a bit tough, but I think that's just me. I overcooked them. But I'm happy with this. Let me show you these guys. See all these guys? Come say hello. She's freaking out. Let's go say hello. They'll probably just run off. Hey dudes. How's it going? Hey. Wow, look at all you guys. Tons of them. All curious. You can smell the Dryad saddle. They're curious about you, Brie. Hmm? Do you say hello, puppy? Hello. Hey. Shut up, Brie. Hello, cows. Cows actually kill people. There's quite a high number of people trampled by cows every year. Usually when walking dogs, it's the dogs that start it all off. But they're more than anything, they're just curious. But if you run, they'll run. Then you get trampled, but I think we're pretty safe. Anyway, I've got to get back to it. Let's get a nice cup of coffee on the go. So I use one of these little coffee bags. I keep it simple. They're quite nice, I quite like them, but my brother's super fussy. He brings out grinders and everything when he goes camping. He selects his beans carefully, he cares about the oils, the coarseness, the time it's left to brew. He's got lots of different methods he uses, and they're very nice coffees he makes, but we're keeping it simple today. Ooh, lovely milky coffee. I use oat milk. Hey, off that. I like to use oat milk. Don't like dairy anymore. Dairy's pretty minging, I think. And also, I just feel much healthier drinking this, but there we go. Coffee in the woods. Yeah. So there we go. Morning coffee in the woods. Can't beat that before a day of work. I think that's a good idea. Took me about 20 minutes to drive here. Didn't take too long to harvest the mushroom. Most of the time was spent making the video actually and chatting to you guys, but she's after the cow. See, they've left her now, she wants them. Come here, Brie, this way. Oh, you're naughty. Oh, you're naughty. Oh, naughty. You'd be good. So yeah, coffee in the woods. Can't beat it. Cheers. Ooh, I love coffee in the morning. It's the best. A bit hot, but perfect. Great start to the day. I'll get this down me. I'll pack up, I'll shoot home, and I'll crack on. Got a busy day today, but this was a good start to the day. Found a nice mushroom, not eaten that one before. Nice experience. Had my breakfast in the woods, had my coffee. And yeah, I'll get back with plenty of time today. And yeah, it's been fun. Made a little video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Look out for Dryad saddle. And if you see it, make sure, again, you look into it, cross-reference it, make sure you know what you're eating. Hopefully I've given you a good idea. And yeah, it's pretty safe. There's not much like it at all if you're going up in a tree like that, at that sort of size, that looks like that with paws, as I went through before. But anyway, delicious mushroom, I must say. It doesn't smell too great. Like I say, watermelon when you first cut it. But once it's cooked up, turns into a mushroomy sort of flavour and smell. So yeah, all good. Dryad saddle. Yeah, it's been a good morning. I'm going to shoot now. I would usually film myself walking out, add a bit of music, you know. But I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to say cheers. And I got things to do and I want to enjoy my coffee. So cheers, guys. Thanks for watching this one. See you on the next one.